Wow.
And you're quite good at it.
Well, I'm going to try to read because she can be long-winded, just so you know. Michelle can be long-winded. No, I speak of myself in third person, which is interesting. Hi, everyone. Michelle. This is a really important and challenging time for all of us right now. We all have to stay vigilant. We need to stay awake. We need to be present. We need to be loud. We need to show up. It's precarious, the rights that are in jeopardy right now. You know, not only is it so important for our, people of color, for women, for our LGBTQ world, for our people with disabilities, for our neurodiverse individuals. These are all people who are part of our community, who have always been part of our community. And now that we're more visible, let's be more loud. Let's make our voices heard. Right? And I love, one of the things, the gifts of these cons that I got to experience is to meet someone like this man, Raymond, right here, and who introduced me to this world of the Be Kind movement. Because it is easy to be kind. It's free. And yet you being kind to somebody can save someone's life. Literally by walking down the street and walking by someone saying, "You have a beautiful smile. I hope you have a good day," may save someone's life. Right now, because things are so challenging, I wear my Be Kind t-shirt not just for them, but for me. So that I remind myself to be kind. Not only to the outside world, but to myself. Because there are things happening right now that make me not want to be kind. I mean. So let's... Says a biracial person, by the way, who's both my parents, thank you very much. Not one or the other, thank you very much. Biracial, get it, learn it, know it, 2024 for fuck's sake. Woo! Quiet. But being kind. I'm going to just encourage again all of us to tell two friends and so on, and to show up, to make your voice be heard, to vote, to stand proud, and to love boldly.
Thank you, Michelle.
You can be kind with a rod of steel in your spine, like Michelle did. I wanted to say two things, if I may. Years ago, I got to hear David Mixner speak. This is ancient history now, but he was, I believe, the first liaison to the gay community in the Clinton White House.
Yes.
That's the title he had. But I heard him speak after he was out of the White House, and one of the things he talked about at the time, this is in the early 2000s, there was also a time of huge backlash to the LGBTQ community. And what he said is the backlash is always in response to progress. So, of course, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the backlash and feel hopeless from the backlash, but it's actually a sign that we're making a lot of progress. So, for whatever that's worth, I try to echo his words and remind myself of that. And the other thing, aside from always being the advocate for queer people, of course, being the father of two boys who were born via surrogacy and IVF, that is another of those things in Project 2025 that would be taken away if they would have their way. These two human beings, they're only 20 months old and 8 months old, I promise you, are amazing human beings already, that these motherfuckers would want to take these two human beings, not let them be on the planet in the first place. That's the personal reason. I'm one of however many people are trying to have this be part of their journey. If you're gay, straight, whatever, trying to have children this way, that is an abomination as well. So that's another thing to get out there and vote, try to prevent them from preventing people from being born who deserve to be born in this way.
Thank you so much.
Wow. It's a lot. This is amazing. What an amazing group of people up here, and this is just showing you, I mean, I'm feeling overwhelmed, and maybe that's what I'll be talking about right now, because it's an overwhelming time right now. And you are just so strong and incredible and amazing, and you are so amazing. But if you don't feel like you're a Michelle Hurd who can get out there and go and fight again, that's okay too. But all these things are so true. We are on the precipice of something, and it is very uncomfortable and hard and awful because we're about to get into good stuff, and we're all alive in the same time. You know, we're all here alive in the same time together, and it's weird and it's hard, but we're getting to the good stuff. And that main thing is to be kind. It truly is, because I have to get off of social media and all that, because it's sickening when people get on there anonymously even and say hateful, awful things, mean things, you know. It's just, it makes me sad, it makes me hurt. And I know that it's coming from hurt, because I know that we all want the same thing in life. You know, we all want the same thing as human beings. We want to be loved, we want to have love, you know, we want to be able to find work, something that speaks to us if we can, if we're lucky, but at least, you know, food on the table. We all want to be able to, you know, enjoy that. And we all have different ways that we see that happening, but it doesn't have to be, there's enough, you know, there's actually really enough. There really is. But the first thing is to stop this hatred of the other. The other is crazy. The other is crazy. That's not going to get us anywhere. It's not going to get us anywhere. It's solutions. And it all comes back to that. Why is a bully a bully? A bully is a bully because it's something they learned as a child, or something that they're hurting, or something usually that they admire about you. Maybe not the word jealousy, but they admire something in you they don't have. And then they go after you. So the best thing is to not let them get you, right? You don't get that. And you form resilience. You form that by your people, if you're a child, by your adults, by forming friends, by being an ally to others. You become stronger, and you have a shield around you from bullies, all of that, right? But mostly be kind. And if you are able to be strong enough because you've already had that support and resilience, then you're in a good place to offer that kindness to a bully, in the sense of like, you're not gonna affect me, but I can, you know, have some sympathy or reach out. Or I am strong enough now because of my family or my resilience or my strength and my friends to say to you, I'm gonna walk you through why what you're doing to me is wrong and hurtful. And I'm gonna try to understand why you wanna do that to me, because there must be a reason. But I know you must just want the same things of me as I do in this world, to be loved and to feel loved. So I'm gonna try to give you that understanding. And you can get to that place where they don't bug you that way. You can. And that's what I try to do, and I just don't wanna see people, you know, at each other's throats and divided. You know, it doesn't have to be that way. Sorry everyone else.
Absolutely true.
With you now for a reason. Be the old person to talk about that. We thought we fixed it. We thought we'd gone out the street and we marched and we fixed it. But the pushback came. And it goes so slowly. It's like if they come for me, they'll come for you in the morning. Now it's gotten black rope, rights ebbed away, voting, we lost. And then some persecution of people for their differences of any kind. And then finally they came after the women. I'm sorry. We thought we fixed it. So you guys got it. For me, the two words are responsibility and gratitude. Responsibility, everything I can to take care of any I can, to help anyone I can. Responsibility to be good on this earth and look after it. Gratitude for the things that I get. And that helps. In my study at home, I have a sign that my friends made, a picture of them things, and it has mediation, because I was a mediator. I learned on Star Trek about mediation. And then I learned that finally people who weren't lawyers could become mediators, and I became a mediator, and I trained as many mediators as I could, because we had to find ways of solving disputes without violence and hatred and anger. And anyhow, I forgot where I was going. See, that happens to me all the time.
That's okay. That's really wonderful stuff, Andy. Thank you so much. Susan, I want to ask you a specific question, if that's all right. We began to talk when you were speaking earlier about being kind to yourself. That self-compassion is so key to developing resilience. And we know, as we said, that hurt people and heal people. And sometimes, as Michelle said, we just don't feel like being kind. Sometimes we're pissed, and we have a right to be. But how do we get from those feelings, and I know the answer, by the way, this is what our program's about. How do we get from those really difficult, just unthinkable moments to where we are able to walk through them with self-compassion and with a mindfulness that develops resilience? A lot of people start with resilience, and no, you can't just do that. What are the things that you have found that can pave the way to your feeling like being kind on the toughest days?
Yeah, I definitely had my hard days. I started meditating, so that really helped. Yeah. For anyone who's new, my husband passed away. He was on Star Trek Discovery. He played 4 different characters, and he passed away like 6 months ago after a long illness. So, Kenneth Mitchell. So those self-care things, they matter. The taking a moment for yourself, because I feel like we're too reactive in this society. We react quickly before we think. So taking a breath, breathing, meditating, just taking a moment. It just takes that one moment not to react. Whether I'm reacting to my husband because I don't want to do the thing he's asked me to do, but he can't do it for himself, or my kid who wants something at the same time, or me who needs to go to the bathroom at the same time. So we all can relate to that. So it's taking that second, that breath, that pause, and not reacting.
Right, absolutely. I just got the 5-minute mark, and the next person up here is Adam Malin, so I better not go over. We already heard
I've already
from you.
spoken,
Yes,
please.
thank you
Yeah,
so
be
much.
kind. Everybody be
Ian,
kind.
If you could give
That's
us,
all I want to
if
say.
you could each give us your 1-minute version of this, and then I will wrap up with a 1-minute version of what we do.
Yeah, I'm finding myself getting really emotional, so I don't have much to say. Thank you all for being here. And
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, I'll keep it brief. The key to this moment in time, I feel, and it's a difficult thing to do, is to be vulnerable. And so I'm going to be vulnerable with you right now and say that I get depressed. I'm overwhelmed by current events all the time. And in those moments, the only thing I can think of that can make me feel better in the immediate moment is not what I need to do in order to make me feel better. It's what I can do in how I can affect change in my physical surroundings, right? What I can do in my neighborhood, what I can do to the people in my family, my friends. I can affect change in that way, and that creates a chain reaction. So I can help make the world. We can be overwhelmed by the world by trying to heal the world. Your job is not to heal the world. Your job is to heal the people in front of you, that you can move, that you can touch, just by being who you are, by telling your truth, by showing them some kindness, and they will pass that on. It will take you out of yourself, and you will find that you will actually feel better about yourself and your circumstances if you can affect some kind of kindness in someone else.
Thank you so much, Wilson.
I think that's excellent. It reminds us of the pay it forward stuff, right? I think that also for me, I have to start with gratitude, real deep gratitude for the life I have. There are so many people in the world that don't have running water, that don't have a warm bed to sleep in at night, that don't have food in their refrigerator. If we could start with those things too, it really shifts your perspective about what's going on in your life and what you can do. The thing that popped in my head in 2016 was the realization that I was living in a bubble. Our community, Star Trek community, acting community, creative community is so much more inclined to live and let live. Enjoy who you are. I'm fascinated by how you see the world. We're curious. We like people. And I like actors because they like people. And come as you are. However you identify, that's your business, not mine. If whatever makes you feel more you, that's who I want to know. Right?
Yeah.
We all fight to be ourselves. I haven't had that problem myself. It doesn't seem like I would, but I very much fawned and froze in my life because of experiences I had being bullied and mistreated as a child. And that stuff just doesn't go away. It's stuff we all have to work on. All you have really is to do the work on yourself and pay it forward. I love you guys.
Thank you, Terry.
I will be very quick. My heart is beating and I'm feeling very emotional as well, but I wanted to say one thing. My brother is also gay and he has had a much harder time with it than I had. He was bullied extensively as a child, is still bullied, and we've been greeted with a family member who's expressing real hatred, real Trump rhetoric. He seems so angry and in such pain. And it makes me want to rage and yell at him and swear at him and beat the truth into him. And my brother, Tanner, who's the one I just talked about, he leads with such love and clarity. He sent beautiful photos of his trans friends with a wonderful explanation that they are humans and that he loves them and that if this person could open their heart, maybe they could change. And I looked at him and I was like, he has every right to be way more angry than I am. And so it's like through our most vulnerable people, I feel like, that we learn to open our hearts and lead with love. And it's what everyone's been talking about is just like not name calling and not pushing back, just expressing ourselves and loving each other. So.
Thank you so much, Emily. Thank you. I'm going to wrap this up. We have about 90 seconds, if that. I'm going to say all of this that we just said is what our program teaches. That is the heroic journey. We are in 45 states, impacting over 500,000 lives and counting. And this is what the world needs, right? Because we need